we go. So, what age were you when you went into service?
I was, will I pick that up? Just my voice?
It should, yeah.
I graduated in high school in May of 43, and I was 17 years old. And in October I was 18, so I had to go up and take my physical. And I asked to get in the Marines, and they accepted me. And I went on to San Diego, and the 1st of November I was in San Diego in boot camp. Going too fast?
No, you're good.
And we did our boot camp. Let's see, 1st November, December the 25th, I got out, on Christmas Day, 43, I got out of boot camp. And we was going to a different camp, and it was probably 500 of us going to a different camp and walking down this place with the barracks, and somebody hollered, "Hey, Kongable." And I was the last one in the whole bunch. There was a friend of mine who was 2 weeks ahead of me in boot. And we got together on leave then, on the weekends, pass. Then we trained there, went to the rifle range out there for a week, and trained there, and then we shipped overseas. Let's see, 1st of February. Took us 21 days from San Diego to New Caledonia on the ship. And there's probably 2,500 Marines on that ship.
2,500?
Yeah. And we had no escort, but we did a lot of zigging and zagging, to throw submarines off going there. I don't know how many miles it was. Then we trained on New Caledonia. Probably a month or two. We'd march out and keep in shape, get in shape and stuff. We'd march out 15, 20 miles in the morning, and then we'd strip off and go swimming in a freshwater river, and they'd bring our meals out to us. Then we'd march back, But we kept in good shape. We walked every day and trained. And I got Dengue Fever. That's bone fever that they get down in the tropics. It's a mosquito bite. They have it here in the southern United States.
Dengue, right? Dengue.
Yeah,
okay.
Dengue. And so then we trained there a while, and then we took off, went up to Guadalcanal. I can't tell you exactly when that, but we made practice landings there on our landing craft, like hitting the beaches and stuff. And well, I was in the hospital about a week in Guadalcanal with strep throat. So after we did our training there, we went to the Marshall Islands. That was north. And about all there was stumps off of coconut trees. That's all that was left. It was just an atoll, sandy. But there's so the biggest bunch of ships in there waiting. Battleships, cruisers, aircraft carriers, all kinds of ships. I suppose there's 200. That's a guess. And at night we'd get off and get on little islands and sleep, off the ship while we were waiting. And it was cold at night. Hot in the daytime, but you needed blankets at night. cool breezes, you know.
What'd you stay in when you slept on the islands? Did you stay in tents or
Slept on the ground.
just on the ground?
Yeah, in her clothes. In her clothes. And
When you were in,
we swam a lot, you know.
where did you lose your company? When you were in the hospital, you lost.
Yeah, well, that's past now.
Well, you better tell him about it.
Well, when I was in the hospital, they turned me loose, and I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I started walking down the road, and they picked me up, and I didn't know where my outfit was, you know. And stopped at one of them and said, "Well, we don't know where it's at, but we'll take you." But then I found it later on, and I lost my sea bag, all my clothes and everything, and people got me stuff, you know. And up in the Marshalls, we didn't do any training. We just stayed on the ship, was waiting to hit Saipan and Guam. And that's the Marianas. And I was in the 1st Provisional Brigade, 1st Marine Amphibious Force.
Can you say that again? First?
1st Marine Brigade. That was 2 regiments. 4 regiments make a division. And we were a brigade, and any outfit that needed extra men, they'd pick us up, and we'd go with them. Anyhow, while we was there, they had the Marianas turkey shoot. That's where our ships blew the Japanese out of the water and sent them scattering for home. If it hadn't been for that, they'd have hit us, you know, when we was landing. So we was on ship quite a while. Then they hit in July '44, 21st. I believe they hit Saipan, and we were going to hit Guam 3 days later. Well, Saipan turned into be such a long, hard fight that it was 30 days later before we hit Guam. But we were the floating reserve. We set off. We'd come in close at night. We'd come in the daytime close to the island in case they needed us, but we'd go back out at night, away from the island.
It was on Saipan.
Yeah,
Saipan.
that's Saipan. Then we had to go back to the Marshall Islands to refurbish. You know, Saipan took 30 days to clear, clean, secure it. And it usually takes about 30 days per island to secure an island, you know. The Japs are dug in, it takes quite a while. Well, we hit Guam the 21st or 2nd of July. Did I say June? They hit June in Saipan.
June in Saipan.
Okay. In July, we hit Guam.
But you were really supposed to go to Iwo Jima.
No, wait a minute. That's later. Anyhow, it took us 30 days to secure Guam, you know. And our outfit got the Navy Commendation Ribbon. Or
Commendation.
Commendation Ribbon, yeah. I hit Agate Beach, which was a
Taggart?
Agate, A-G-A-T. And I was in the 3rd or 4th wave. We got up at 4 o'clock that morning, ate breakfast, and then we started loading our landing craft. And we'd get loaded, we'd circle until it was all loaded and everything, till we went in. I was in the 3rd or 4th wave, and they dumped us out quite a ways, probably 200 or 300 yards from the beach. Well, we couldn't get any farther because those things couldn't, the Japs had a thing dug out and they couldn't get across it. So they had to bring the Amtraks with track, you know, landing craft track, out to pick us up and take us on in. That would get up over the coral reefs, you know. Well, I don't know how far we got in the beach the first day, but it wasn't too far. And that night, I said, don't get out of your foxholes, because everything gets moves out there gets shot at night. And battleships were shooting flares in there up over us, you know, kept continuing, and it was about as light as day. Those big flares, they'd be on a parachute flare, dropping down, and I tell you, it was light as in this room. And the next morning, we had a firefight. They came around and attacked us, you know, but we wiped them out. Come across a rice paddy and stuff after us, we got them. And after we had the island secure, we just kind of monkeyed around and cleaned up places. CBs made roads. There was just a old dirt road around the island when we hit there. And rain, did it ever rain a lot? Seems like when there's a lot of bombing and shelling stuff, you get a lot of rain. Of course, the islands were pretty rainy anyhow. And they had a big gun up on the hill they brought in from the Philippines or something. And something took a big scrape out of that and knocked it out. It was about a 12-incher, big permanent gun sitting on top of the hill. You know, they knocked it out. I think I've got a picture of that. And then later on, and I don't know what we did all that time now, I forget, but we stayed there on Guam and they were going to hit Iwo Jima. Well, we had orders to get ready and be ready to go to Iwo Jima. And they finally said, well, we aren't going to need you. It's only going to be a 72-hour operation. You know, and they found out it was a month. It took them a month to clean that off. It was the worst fighting of any place, Iwo Jima.
They lost the most men.
Yeah. And from the island, you know. And they, after that was secured, B-29 bombers, if they were shot up, could land there. That's the reason it was taken, to save a lot of our planes that was shot up. Airfield, close to Japan.
And this is Iwo Jima?
Huh?
Iwo Jima?
Yeah, that's the reason they took Iwo Jima. And, let's see. Well, they waited, we killed a lot of time and stuff. We waited and our brigade went in and made the 6th Division, that hit Okinawa later on. And that was the last island they took until they were going to have to take Japan. You know. And that was, they lost a lot of people on Okinawa too. And then war got over. After they dropped the bombs, why, I came home, come back to Hawaii, and pulled in by the, what's that big pile of rock out there?
Diamond Head?
Come in by Diamond Head and pulled into the harbor, and we parked right by another ship and walked the gangplank into the other ship and went out next morning and come on home. They didn't let us get off ship at Hawaii. And I got home, discharged home the first day of March 1946. And I started farming. That year I started farming. I probably went too fast.
You had a time when you weren't fighting, that you were kept
Oh yeah,
over
a
there.
lot of time we were fighting.
But maybe you were a supply thing in a warehouse or something?
You know what?
You were a parts man in a warehouse or something?
Yeah, I was in charge of a big warehouse, parts were 240 by 200 feet. We put parts for height finders and everything. I was in charge of that. But that was after Mom was over and stuff. I probably should have elaborated a little on some of those things.
Which island did you spend the most time on? Guam.
Yeah.
And that's where the heavy fighting was for you?
Yeah, that's where we...
On the beaches? And
That's the only one I landed on.
okay.
That wasn't secure.
How long were the beaches before it got to the vegetation?
Oh, the beach was probably 50 yards. We dug in on the beach first night. Stayed there. And they shelled us. They knew exactly the length, you know, or so much stuff. They usually let first one or two waves things come in, then they'd blow the others out of the water, you know, because they figured they could handle them. The people on the beach could handle it.
How long did it take to get into the vegetation and into the forest, jungle,
Well,
from the beach?
it was, we had a dirt road. They had a dirt road right around there, and the rest was jungle after you got in there. But they farmed some there on Guam. They had rice paddies and different stuff. The AGAT, Guam was all blowed to pieces. That was the main city on Guam. It was all blowed to pieces. They had to rebuild it all. And then they had a few other little smaller ones, you know. They had 2 airfields on Guam. B-29 field they made, you know, big one. And fighter landing strip. That B-29 field was 2 miles long.
And Guam took a month to take?
Yeah, it took a month.
Once you guys got off the beaches and into the island more, what was that like?
Well, it was coconut palms, and other brush and stuff. They even had bananas there, and oranges, trees.
Was it pretty thick vegetation?
Yeah, pretty thick, yeah. They had rice paddies, though it was open, you know. Nice island. Now it's in resort island. Really fancy, and a lot of honeymooners from Japan come there. Spend their honeymoon there. Well, it's just like Hawaii now. It's all built up, commercialized. And we had 2 little boys that hung around our squad, and they'd climb up and pull off coconuts for us, green coconuts, so we could drink the milk out of them, you know.
And you found cans of mandarin oranges.
Well, we found them.
That's what I said, you found them.
They told us not to eat any stuff Japanese made, but we found a lot of canned mandarin oranges. We opened them and ate them anyhow. And they always look for the sake and booze, these guys. And that's where Saipan, Guam's where a lot of the Japanese people and civilians jumped over the cliff rather than be taken prisoners. We saw that one night, didn't we, Mary?
Yeah.
Where the women jumped over, the men jumped over the cliffs.
You had some time off when you went and swam in a...
There's a friend of mine. We used to climb down a bluff about every night after chow and go swimming in the ocean. Had a nice beach there, and you'd walk out quite a ways, you know, before it got too deep.
Was it pretty clear water, or was it murky?
Yeah, really clear and nice. There's a lot of sharks in it, though. A lot of dead, you know.
What was your gear like that you had to take
Well,
when you went on the island?
when we landed, we had gas masks and stuff. We had a blanket and our cooking, our eating utensils, you know, and cans and stuff. But pretty soon everybody took their gas masks with them, but after we got on the beach there a little while, we threw them away in case they used gas, you know.
You guys weren't given any sidearms, were you? Any pistols?
No,
Just your rifle?
I had an M1 rifle, and I had it all the way through the war, the same one. Carried it all the way through the war.
The Grand?
Grand.
Now, everyone in your brigade didn't have Grands, did they?
Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
there was a mix, or?
Well, I don't know how it's come. Some guys had, what do you call it? What was that other rifle? Short one.
Carbine?
Carbine, yeah, I had 30 caliber carbine.
Did anybody have any BARs, or?
Well, when we were fighting, they had BARs and automatic weapons, you know, some machine guns.
Was it pretty hot there during the day?
It was really it was warm in the daytime, but cool at night. Ocean breezes. Really nice. Probably perfect weather. But it did rain a lot.
You had quite a bit of ringworm or something too, didn't you, because of the humidity?
Well,
And the
what?
wetness? Ringworm?
Well, when we couldn't take baths and stuff, you know, you had to take your bath out of your helmets, dig down along the beach, because the salt water wouldn't clean you up any. We had saltwater showers on the ships. You felt kind of cruddy after you took those. They had saltwater soap, but it didn't clean you up. And I had, when we went over there, I was sick for 3 days. And I tell you, I was sick, seasick.
It's on the ship.
On
the ship?
Yeah, on the ship. Just have to go in between things if I told you anymore. I can't. I'm forgetting stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any memories stand out from boot camp, or?
Oh, not too much from boot camp. We kept us busy we was really busy exercising and get up 4 in the morning for 5 o'clock, go out and do a rifle exercise out on the drill field. Then we come back and wash up and go eat breakfast. And from then on we'd have, we'd sit on bleachers and they'd talk to us, and we had to read some stuff, you know, and learn stuff. Had to take our rifles apart and clean them and learn how to put our rifles back together. And we were in good shape because we wasn't eating between meals and going to bed, getting up at the same time, see. And boy, it was cold out there in San Diego when I was out there. We had blankets on our bunks and our overcoats and everything else. No heat in the huts.
Mm.
Did you have to go on 10-mile hikes and camp out?
Yeah, 20-mile hikes.
And spend the night and then hike back the next day? Or
No, we'd go out the same day.
You go out and come back the same
Yeah.
day?
What was your rank when you got out?
Corporal. I went in when I was 18 and spent 2 years overseas and got out when I was 20 years old. See, I was just 18 when I went in. I spent 28 months in the service. 2 years of that was overseas.
Did you have any guys under your command?
Yeah, I was a squad leader, corporal squad leader.
How many guys were in your squad?
16. 12 or 16, I forget which.
Did you guys have a specific job? A specific duty? Were you just infantry or?
Yeah, I was a rifleman. Then I went after Guam there, I was in a control of a warehouse that had parts. We had to, they come in and order parts and we had to get them out to them right away and stuff. Army general and some Army come through there, stuff this, and he come in there with a bunch and I saluted him and he stopped and says, "Now you didn't salute me right." So I saluted him again. We went on and the warrant officer with our outfit was tail it. He said, "Don't pay any attention to him." Come over to me and said, "Don't pay any attention to him." I don't know what I did. I might have just like this, see? I don't remember what I did, but you're supposed to hold it. I don't remember what I did.
Didn't you get caught goofing off out in San Diego once?
Yeah, say me about that. One night, boot camp, they always had roll call. 10 o'clock. We was outside and the plane went over and some smart ass said, "Hail that taxi." They took us out and marched us all night. If I hadn't had some sugar cubes, I'd never made it. Out in the hills, we up and down and around. Always some smart guy shooting his mouth off. And always some guy, you're supposed to say, "Here, sir." Some guy to holler out, "Yo!" They didn't go for that. Oh, there's stuff I could think about.
When you came back home, you rode the train into Columbus Junction, didn't you? You got in around midnight?
Well, coming home, a friend of mine from Conesville, we come back together from Chicago. We got discharged, come into Columbus Junction, got in about 1:30, and the folks come over and got me. We called them and stuff. We was going to stay all night at the hotel. We got the last room, and there's a salesman come in, he needed a room, so we all, the heck, we just want to call and get us, let him have that room. So they're losing about 1,100 World War II veterans every day.
Really?
Over the United States. Now, we'll cut them down pretty fast.